Joining us now to review some of the headlines of today's newspapers from around the world is Arise News analyst Emmanuel Efeni. Good morning, Emmanuel.
Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, Rufai. Good morning, Victoria Tundu MQ Abiola.
Good morning.
Yes. Let's start the review with this day, Nigeria's newspaper of record. The lead story, be fair to all party members. Buhari charges APC chairman, says he will continue to entrench democratic principles in governance. Adamu, I am now in charge. Yes, the new APC chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, visited the president yesterday, of course, in the company of Mai Malabuni, the caretaker committee chairman that midwifed the new chairman, as it were. Well, Adamu has every reason to visit the president, who is the leader of the party. And he must not also forget that despite the opposition of 19 governors of the APC to his emergence, the president single-handedly stood firm behind Abdullahi Adamu, and others had to follow on the grounds of the president's insistence. And he emerged as a consensus chairman, but a lot of work to do. The APC rather, in a number of states, almost 12, still a divided house. And coincidentally, Adamu was the one who chaired a reconciliation panel. That panel never submitted its report before he emerged as chairman. A lot of work for him to do there. Now, let's look at other newspapers quickly. The Guardian newspaper, Ige's murder. I am willing to go to court, says Soyinka. Falana offers free legal service, says Soyinka exercise his freedom of expression. APC, Buhari insensitive. Carlos should have rewarded Omishore with envoy to Ukraine. I'm sure whoever is the envoy to Ukraine will be wondering whether that posting is now Siberia. I never campaigned for Buhari, only asked Nigerians to vote out Jonathan in 2015. That's Soyinka speaking. Professor Wole Soyinka, Ruben, the government in which you served. Wole Soyinka only campaigned that people should be voted out, not that Nigerians should vote for Buhari. I'm sure many Nigerians will take that with a pinch of salt. What is the distinction between voting out Jonathan, good luck Ebele Jonathan, and voting for Buhari? Well, professors, they have a way of twisting these things. But the issue at stake, Omishore, why should he be rewarded, according to Professor Soyinka, with the secretary of the ruling party? But Omishore has come out to also counter what the professor is saying, because the Professor Soyinka, referred to him as a prime suspect. And lawyers should know. Ruben and Tundu, you will shed some light on that. If a man has been acquitted or discharged in a court of law, is it the duty of a professor to still call him prime suspect? If you are not an investigator or a prosecuting authority, can you still be calling him a prime suspect? Yes, I agree that President Buhari haven't promised to reopen unresolved murder cases of the past, should have done so. And of course, that will have included murder of Marshal Harry, Dokubo, of course, Bola Ige. But if the president has not done that, like a number of promises he made on the podium while campaigning, I don't think Omishore should be called a prime suspect until perhaps that case is reopened and is seen as such. Now, the Nation newspaper attacked trade. Families of abducted passengers protest. The New Telegraph newspaper also reporting terrorists threatening to kill kidnapped victims. That's the victims of the Kaduna train attack. as injured sergeant dies in Katsina. Pastor protest killings attacks. Troops eliminate 80 terrorists, recover weapons in Northwest Central. Nigerians should be grateful to Buhari for rail projects. And Mishi, it doesn't matter whether some Nigerians are attacked, killed, kidnapped on the rail. Just be grateful to the president. Daily Independent, that's what Rotimi Amici, the Minister of Transportation, is saying. Daily Independent newspaper, Nnamdi Kanu, Boko Haram financiers to face trial. Federal High Court issues practice direction, bars journalists, public from terrorism trials. The Vanguard newspaper, terrorists to federal government, talk to us or we'll kill all 167 captives. 167 passengers still in captivity. Says government should hasten to meet us before we turn this place into an abattoir. That's the terrorists talking. Abductors have collected 250 million ransom so far. Injured ex-soldier Sergeant Funtua dies. Pastors protest killings in Kaduna demand massive bombing of bandits. High-profile terrorist commander surrenders. Defense headquarters is reporting to Nigerians. Bank of Agriculture acting MD allegedly paid 100 million naira to secure release. The Punch newspaper, National Assembly fights Malami back, appeals Electoral Act judgment. President Buhari's ministers await final verdict, put 2023 ambitions on hold. Lawan gives aides planning to contest ultimatum to resign. Ovi Omagege's men comply. Cross River APC asks Ayade's men to resign. Bauchi governors orders aides to step aside. Yes, people are complying with the provisions of the Electoral Act. Even if Malami, the Attorney General's push to get that section deleted is still hanging somewhere. Now, the Friday leadership, the leadership newspaper, PMB shock states, LGAs defy new sharing formula, revenue mobilization and accounts and finance commission proposes 45.17% for federal government, 29.7% for states, local government areas, 21.04%. President seeks approval to borrow more for 7.35 trillion budget deficit. Now, if we just look at the Daily Trust newspaper, pressure mounts on Pinnick to resign over Qatar 2022 failure. He ought to have resigned long ago. Senate summons embattled president, sports minister, third term ambition in jeopardy. Yes, I'm aware that our sports correspondent Aaron Akerijola has an interview with Pinnick where he said he's not contesting anymore, but Nigerians are not happy with him. If he's leaving on this note, Nigeria failing to qualify for Qatar 2022, well, I would call it a sad end. But let's look at the foreign newspapers quickly. The Times of London. Sunak fears revelations over wife's hit job. Chancellor hits back at non-dom smear. Well, but the independent newspaper that actually broke the story, breathtaking hypocrisy of Sunak on tax status. Yes, the wife of the Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, Akshata Moti, pays no UK tax on her foreign earnings. Yes, she's the daughter of one of India's richest men, where she has as much as £600 million stake in one of India's tech firm. Yes, that's Infosys, Indian giant firm. She has a stake, but she doesn't pay any tax because she's using non-domiciliary tax status. And the independent newspaper broke that story yesterday. And Rishi Sunak, all he said is that this is hatchet job. People want to bring him down. But Labour is saying here, he and his wife, they have to come clean. And Labour leader wants her to answer what scheme she's using to reduce her tax in the UK. But we look at the New York Times quickly.
Well, Emmanuel Efene,
Yes.
we would like to thank you. We
Oh,
don't seem to
running
have
out
any
of
more
time.
time again, but you raised very important issues. But in any case, we would like to thank you.